welcome to all of you on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. Woo! This is a celebration. You've put in the effort, you've done the nails, you've gotten the dress, you got the shoes, you told the kids not to night, mom's going out, you had your whole plan. So this is a big celebration and a celebration of you phenomenal women in this room. And of course the great guys that stand by our sides, that work with us, that help us accomplish the amazing things we do. So once again, give yourselves a round of applause. Now we're going to have an understanding. Today we're having fun. It's a celebration, it's fun, it's vibes, it's networking, it's getting to know each other, it's collaborations, it's all those amazing things that us women do very well. You know, we do very, very well. So once again, welcome to you all to this really auspicious occasion. This is my second rodeo. Last year I did MC this event, and it was a beautiful, stunning event. Met some amazing women and made some friends that evening. And I'm hoping that tonight the same thing will happen. Make some amazing memories, make some amazing friends, and great collaborations that will last forever and ever and a lifetime. So I want to welcome you once again. I just can't keep going on about how special today is, and I'll go into detail about why I feel today is so special. So let me give a special, special welcome to Daisy and David White from DRG and Business Fit. Also a special welcome to the representatives from Mangwanani Spa who helped this year happen. Woo! So Mangwanani is where the party's at. Yeah. I got you. Also some previous KZN top businesswomen, including our former Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, Fauzia Pierre, as well as Jackie Bana from Jackie Bana Consulting, Nomfunda Mtoyi from Ikobelotu, as well as Princess Nandi Zulu. We want to welcome you all, and of course, all you beautiful ladies who are part of this celebration tonight. So welcome to you all. So let me chat a little bit about who I am. Let me introduce myself. My name is Carol Ofori. You can catch me on East Coast Radio between 9 and 12. I play there Monday to Friday. Have the best time. I've been doing radio for almost 20 years now. And it's just every radio show is different. Every day we go in, it's a different scenario, and I absolutely love what I do. I also have the Carol Ofori podcast. Today we dropped a new episode. A very exciting episode. Please do check it out wherever you listen to your podcasts. We've had some really interesting discussions from the economy of South Africa to today's one, literally finding out how much does a car guard earn? Like, what's it like to be a car guard? And which cars, when they see them, they're like, I have to be behind this car when it reverses. Like, this one, I must be behind this car. And which ones they go, just go. She's even hiding from me. I don't care. You go. You're not going to tip me anyway. So we have that discussion, which is really nice in the podcast. And then also I've written some really beautiful children's books called The African Adventures of Sena and Katlego. It's a 6-book series. I still can't believe that I've got 6 books on shelves across South Africa. It's crazy to me. And also available online, Amazon, and so on. Really, really interesting book about this adventure that this young boy goes on with his teddy bear Katlego and the amazing experiences they have. Also co-founder of a beautiful platform called ratingsforschools.co.za. It's a school finding platform that I co-founded with my husband. And in relocating from Johannesburg to Durban 3 years ago, we found it quite difficult finding a school without knowing many people to get referrals from. Because a lot of the time you take your kids to schools that, you know, your friends have said, your family has said, or you've been to yourself. So coming to a new city, it was like, ooh, who do we trust? I've seen that one drink a bit too much. I don't think I must ask her. And that guy is not serious about life. So you're just like, wow, what do we do? So we created the platform ratingsforschools.co.za. It's really doing so well. And please do check it out if you're looking for a school for your child. It's magnifique, if I can say so myself. Something else I do is I am an MC, facilitator, and keynote speaker, which I do. And this year, I'm very excited to say that I'm also one of the ladies nominated for the KZN Top Business Awards. And it was very humbling when you know, I was told. I was like, what? Me? Like, you know, we radio people, our minds are so creative. That's the space we play in. Creativity, your personality is your business. And so it's a very interesting space. So you can imagine growing up, going to varsity, finishing, and then telling my mom, I want to be a radio presenter. She's like, what? You want to howl on the radio for 3 hours? Well, now she doesn't call it howling anymore, since I have sustained my life in this business for over 3 years. And what I've loved about this business is that it allows you the ability to really tap into every possible skill that you have. So if I'm not writing books, I am emceeing events. If I'm not emceeing events, I'm doing a podcast. If I'm not doing a podcast, I'm doing a radio show. So you are really pushed and propelled into spaces where you have to think about how you can grow and do more. I will say this year I've done some very exciting things as well. I walked my first fashion show at Durban Fashion Fair with the team from the 5th. That was exciting. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I did my first comedy debut. That happened at the Barnyard, and that was quite thrilling and exciting. So it really allows me the space to be innovative. And I'm telling you this because I feel, business can be seen in so many ways. As you sit here, you've got wonderful businesses that you've started that are the cornerstone of the KZN business economy that we call our business economy here. And every single one of you feed into this economy of KZN that feeds into the greater picture of the South Africa that we have. So it's just so beautiful to celebrate the different colors of what business women look like. They may look like this lady in her little, what would you call this, a mermaid dress? As well as some very, esteemed businesswomen who are in big boardrooms, taking on big contracts, big tenders, big. And just the colors and the array of it is just so wonderful that we have a platform like this to celebrate every color that is a woman in business. Yeah? You can applaud. Unless you don't agree. This is the 4th installment of the KZN Top Businesswomen. It's the 4th year of it running. As I mentioned, I've been involved with it now. This is my 2nd year. And it's exciting to see the beautiful pictures of all the ladies. And I walk past, I'm like, hey, I know that girl. And it's me, You look nice, you look nice. So this is a platform to allow us to really engage, to collaborate, to celebrate. As women, we get into a space where we accomplish things, and we're so scared to say we've accomplished these things. Instead, we look into the next. What are we doing next? What are we going to do tomorrow? Instead of being in the moment, savoring every single moment and celebrating the journey that you've walked to get to the place that you are today. Because it's a journey. And I'll tell you why. I'll remind you why. As women, and I say this on the radio all the time, we navigate just our bodies every day, which change by the moon. Every day we are experiencing a different cycle of life, and girls, you know what I'm talking about. And you could be this very sweet girl tomorrow, and the next day it's a different lady you're encountering, and you're navigating just your body alone. And Ofori will always say to me, listen, you can pay me as much money as you want. I will not be a lady for a day. You guys' mood swings are too much for me. I cannot deal, and the things you go through just with your anatomy. And then on top of that, we are in a situation worldwide where as women, we are carving ways for ourselves. The pay gap is narrowing. We are doing jobs that typically we shouldn't be doing. They're not built for us. And here we are, navigating that, being moms, being wives, being sisters, being aunties, and all sorts of roles, and still finding the time and the strength to be amazing businesswomen. So this is really a time to take the hat off and celebrate yourselves. Now, I know it's awkward, like, yeah, KZN businesswoman. No, say it loud. I'm a KZN top businesswoman, And let's say it together right now. 1, 2, 3. I'm a KZN top businesswoman. That's the spirit, and that's how we're going to enjoy tonight, making sure we celebrate every element of the hard work you've put in your different businesses. Every time that alarm goes off, every night you go to bed and you're exhausted and wondering where you're going to get the strength, every single piece of concealer you've had to put under your eyes just to look like you got some sleep, every eyelash glue that got stuck in between your lashes because you needed to just give yourself that extra You know what I'm talking about, ladies. We are celebrating that. And I love this platform as well because on my show, I have a segment called Woman Crush Wednesday. So whenever I get invited here, it's like, here's the show. I've got my woman crushes. The room is packed with them. 365 days are sorted with women crushes. So I'm very excited to be here and to celebrate this day with you. I want to leave you with a quote from the CEO of Spanx. You guys know what Spanx are, right? Ladies, you know what Spanx are. You'll explain to the guys later. I might just be. Okay. The CEO of Spanx, her name is Sarah Blakely. She said, "Don't be intimidated by what you don't know. That can be the greatest strength and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else." So it's the whole concept of just not being afraid of things you don't know and jumping in and enjoying. So I believe this lady is nervous, but I can't believe it. I do not believe it because she was on the stage last year and she's on the stage again this year. I'd like to welcome onto the podium right now, onto the stage, this beautiful stage, from DRG, Kette Tanner.
It is a wonderful pleasure for DRG and Business Fit to be involved in the KZN Top Business Initiative. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kette Tanner. I'm the Operations Director for DRG, and my responsibilities fall in, sorry, I'm out of breath, I'm so nervous. And I've hardly said anything, in payroll management and financial administration. In this year's initiative, I had the great joy of being one of the women chosen to be on the initiative's journey. It was a fabulous experience. A big thank you to Grant and Gail Adlam from KZN Top Business for their leadership, and Mangawani Spa for their venue, the videos, photographs, refreshments, and the fun that we all had. It's no surprise that women are being encouraged to contribute more and more in the business environment. And this is not going to change. Research has shown that women leaders tend to show strong innovation, risk-taking, and empathy skills. In fact, a Harvard Business Review places women ahead of me in resilience, self-development, and initiative-taking. Women also tend to have results-driven attitudes and a dedication to help their teams grow. According to Caliper study of qualities that distinguish women leaders are more assertive and persuasive and have a stronger need to get things done and are more willing to take risks than male leaders. Women are such tend to be more effective in facilitating collaborations and information sharing. In my career, I've actually had the opportunity of working with incredible women, and aspects of their personal selves that have stood out for me are their ability as natural nurturers. They're comfortable in their own vulnerability and have good relationship building skills. Some areas where some of us can certainly develop is being overly self-reliant and self-sacrificing, certainly to reach our goals. There's no doubt that in our fast-changing world that there's an enormous opportunity for women, business leaders, to support effective contribution to the economy, society, and the environment. I'm honoured to be considered a leading and positively influencing woman in the KZN economy and feel privileged to share this incredible moment with the many like-minded and motivated women we are sharing with the KZN Top Women Gala dinner this evening. In closing, Nelson Mandela left us with a wonderful legacy defining true freedom. He said, "Freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression." Our endeavour must be about the liberation of the woman, the emancipation of the man, and the liberty of the child. We have a wonderful future ahead of us in South Africa if we are able to encourage one another, support one another, and create opportunities for each other. Congratulations to everyone here tonight, and past and future contributors, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Give it up again to Kette Tanner. Tanner, sorry. Kette Tanner, thank you so much from DRG for that message. I think it's so important to, take notes of how far we've come and how far we're going. Ofori always says to me, we are in a world today where we're fighting for women's rights, the pay gap to be closed, for us to be recognized as equals in certain spaces, etc., etc. And he says, as much as it may look like a real steep mountain to climb, he says to me, you do realize this is the best it's been yet. And if you interrogate that, that is so true. Women in the 50s and 60s, there wouldn't be ceremonies like this. I would be a master chef at home with my apron and my 15 kids and waiting for my husband to come home. All right? So it is the best it's been. So we're doing something right. And platforms such as this are incredible. So to get to tonight, there was webinars, there were videos where we got asked about ourselves, and we got to, talk about our journeys in business, how we got to where we were, inspiring words. And these videos are there for other women to, take in and be encouraged, and see a future for themselves and see an opportunity for themselves by seeing women like us do what we do. We don't realize every day we get up doing what we do that there are people watching us, there are women watching us going, wow, I so look up to this lady. They'll never greet you, they'll never let you know, but in their circles, they speak of you. And they speak of you in your local business, whether they see you on the television, whether they know you because of family and friends, but just by being yourself, you're encouraging so many women to really strive for what they want to achieve in life. So you can hear I'm excited about tonight, right? I really am. I could go on forever and ever and ever about tonight. So we did our wonderful videos, and the webinar, and today I'm sure you're wondering, why are there all these chairs up here? At some point, we're going to have Anime come up here, and we're going to have panel discussions. And we'll be calling ladies up here to have these discussions. We haven't told you. So you will be surprised. Surprise! You like surprises? I love surprises. I'm that person. Please surprise me. So we're going to surprise you today. We're going to have 3 different panel discussions. It's going to be enlightening. We're going to learn more from you in the flesh. And the best part is tomorrow, I believe at 7 p.m., we get to watch it all on YouTube on our channel. So it's all going to be there for everybody to see. So yes, you can take out your mirror quick. Check the teeth. Check the eyelashes, not too high, and you're not like this. Because that's the worst. When the eyelashes are not, you look crazy, baby, okay? So you can check that. You can touch up the lipsticks, okay? Because we're going to be calling some of you up here. And in doing so, the room is about celebrating every single one of you. So even if you don't come up here, just know your story is so important to every one of us here and to the people that we serve with this wonderful platform. So we're going to have a look now. I wonder if our TV guys are ready. We're going to go through every single one of you amazing women and celebrate. And we can scream and have fun. And I'm going to mention every lady as we go through the video. So I'm going to come down so that I can see the screen properly. All right, here we go. This is your moment, ladies. Let's go. The amazing Hawa Asmal. Woo! The amazing Shazdi Balim. Lindy Webadi. Cersei Bawa. Jackie Cameron. Anime Kutsia. Nashika David. Nosiche Kapashe. Isabel Perez, or rather Perez. Kim Dyson. This is harder than I thought. Jodelle Govender. Dr. Velo Govender. Priya Maestri Govender. Dr. Kara Hoffman. Asha Divan. Monica Jorgensen. Zamangwane Kanyile, Bashiri Muhammad, Wendy Mahoney, Boni Mkunu, that's my boss, woo! Shilpa Mehta, the amazing Nonkule Komkize, Malebu Mohale, Deshni Munsami, Deshini Tracy Munsami, Dr. Parushni Naidu, Gertrude Lontlanta Ndlovu, Captain Londi Ngobo, Zanele Njapa. Oh, who's that? Carol Afori. Kim Peacock. Charlene Perumal. Liesl Phillips. Mandy Rutman. Kashni Sunarang. Creamy Supermoney. Kette Tanner. Magdalene van der Beek. What? Yes, van der Waal. Princess Nandi Zulu. Ladies and gentlemen, your KZN Top Businesswomen 2023. We'd love to send our thoughts to Gertrude Nontlanhla Ndlovu, who is unfortunately very ill and couldn't join us tonight. So please keep her in your prayers. We wish her a very speedy recovery tonight. All right, well, the time has come for our panel discussions. Remember, I told you, some of you will be coming onto this stage for an opportunity to tell us more about yourself, for us to engage and hear from you. And one of our KZN Top Businesswomen tonight will be steering that and facilitating that. Anna May Kutsia is from True Awakenings, and she will facilitate this. She owns a company called True Awakenings that specializes in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. And may I add, she's a master trainer, an international master trainer in this coaching. Also, her certification in training and corporate training. The business is built on the values of empowering people, because empowerment to Anna May is what freedom is all about. So please welcome to the floor, Anna May Kutsia. I hand over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to actually meet you in person. So thank you, COVID. We could go online, but there's nothing like this, isn't there? Just getting human-to-human interaction and getting to meet these wonderful ladies in the room. It's an honor and a privilege for me to showcase the wonderful ladies that's part of this panel discussion tonight, and every one of you that we celebrate here tonight. So when I met with Grant and we had a discussion about, being one of the Top Businesswomen nominees, and then he asked me to be involved, and I thought, what an honor for me to do what I do every day with these wonderful ladies in the room. So what I actually do is I listen to what's not being said. Because you look in the mirror and you see you every day, and you think, oh, this is just me. And you don't realize the impact that you have, and the way that you affect people around you, and the power that you bring just by being the authentic version of you. Because there is no other you. There's only one version of that. So I get to help you showcase the deeper layers that the world doesn't always get to see. Right? So those values that get you out of bed in tough times, like in COVID, and you push through, and when times are tough in the business, and we got looting and flooding, I mean, our CV should just say that we live in Durban. That should be sufficient to put us right on top of resilience. Right? So all those things and those qualities that we have, we want to have this panel discussion, comfortable couch conversation, ladies. So if you're being called to the front, that's all it is. It's you, know you, and share it with the room so that they can see how fabulous you are as well. And this is a village of like-minded people. It's not just what we do in our everyday life and at work, but it's who we are that we want to showcase here. Not just the lady at the office the person that you are, that drives you, the values that are deeply unconscious that get you through those tough times and get you to put on a smile and fix those lashes and take on another step of the day. So it's my honor to showcase these beautiful ladies. And first up, the first three ladies for tonight's panel discussion is Cherise, Zanele, and Dr. Velo. Please join me in the front, ladies. So as you make your way to the front, like Carol said, surprise! And we don't have a stopwatch anywhere, but you have about a minute. Just a minute to introduce yourself, your name, who you are, what do you do? You're close enough to me, I'll help you. So Zanele, would you like to start the show for us, please?
No problem at all. Hello, everyone. My name is Zanele Njapa. My clients call me the Unlearning Lady. And basically what I do is I support organizations that are going through change and are frustrated and really scared of what the change might mean for their jobs and all sorts of things in the business. And I help them to do change in a fun and simple and exciting way. So that's basically what I do. I help people to let go of past systems that no longer serve them and grab hold of something new.
I love that. And I remember with one of our chats on the webinar, we mentioned some crippling beliefs, and some of those, and that's really what it is, right? In the wise words of Yoda from Star Wars, he says we have to unlearn everything we've learned, right? So when we want to get to that next level of success in our life or that next milestone and that goal, we have to cut that umbilical cord to those old crippling beliefs. So tell us a little bit about some of your own crippling beliefs that you cut the cord to through your ranking of success.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. I love it because it allows me to be so honest. And one of mine, and I think this is the one I've shared as well, is when I started off in my business, one of the things, being a self-confessed perfectionist, I used to think I could do all the things. I could do the marketing, I did the accounting, all of it. Give it all to me, I can do it, I don't need to hire anyone. But then over time, I was hit with the realization that when I do leverage those around me and we collaborate, there's so much more we can do. And I mean, so many people in this room even are women and individuals that I've collaborated with to launch our foundation that we launched this year that does amazing work with children, a retreat that we have every year. Things that didn't exist in my business last year, but all because I was able to say, Zanele, you can't do all the things, and that's okay.
Or maybe you can, but you shouldn't if you want to go to the next level. Hey?
Yes.
So good for you. Unlearning that one and passing the buck. And letting them shine, because that's their skills and that's what they're good at, and that they get an opportunity to showcase themselves as well.
Yes.
And then you can take everybody with you.
And there's increased impact when we collaborate as well.
Correct. It's that butterfly effect. Hey?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Cherise.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cerise, and I'm the proud owner of Cerise Hair Design up in Hillcrest. And so basically, my journey started a couple of years back. I studied at Sorenzo International Hairdressing, and I'm very proud to say that this year my salon turned 4 years old, which, so we survived lockdown, looting, flooding, and all of that. We had a lot of ups and downs. I love what Zanele said about that whole thing about sometimes you need people to help you, do your thing, and you can't do everything on your own. I'm still getting there. I'm not there yet. So I'm not just a hairstylist behind the chair. I'm also a business owner, and I'm the landlord as I own the premises. And then I'm also a teacher, and I love to educate. And I just absolutely love my industry. I think that a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, not just me, but in my industry, they're just a hairdresser, and maybe they didn't matriculate, or but you know what, being a hairstylist and a hairdresser is just so much more than just hairdressing. I think it's a lot to do with science, and I love to do science every day, and it's a lot of biology. And when it comes to the color technology and color techniques, I'm also proud to say that I am the first ambassador in South Africa for Goldwell, which is a German company. And that was one of my top achievements. And so I just like to inspire people, especially in my industry. It's not just about cutting hair, but I do believe that we do touch more hearts than hair every day. We make women feel wonderful. If you have a bad day or you're going through a bad time in your life, everyone, I always say hair is attached to emotions. So if I go through something personally, I want an instant upper. And so what do? You phone the hairdresser or the nail technician, or, you have your lashes done. So, yeah, and I just love my industry. It's a beautiful industry. It's also one of the fastest growing industries in the world, the hair and beauty industry, as it's always evolving. There's always new techniques and new trends, and it's just overall exciting. And the industry has been very good to me.
I'd like you to share with the audience here tonight, what's your nickname?
My nickname?
There's an unofficial PhD in there somewhere, I believe.
So, my nickname is the Blonde Doctor. And how I came across the name was, I did not call myself the Blonde Doctor. Before I owned my own salon and I worked at another salon in Hillcrest, someone phoned in and she was in such a panic and she said, I really need to speak to the blonde doctor. And I tried to calm her down and I said to her, this is the hair salon, but Hillcrest Medical Center is just across the road. I'm sure there's a blonde doctor. And she said, no, there's a blonde hair doctor. She really doctors blonde hair. And so I'm really honored to say that that is what the Upper Highway is calling me, as the blonde doctor. And it's because I specialize in blonde, and not just blonde, but thank you. I really, honestly, truly care for people's hair. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I love the hair integrity, and I love healthy hair and shiny and bouncy. And, when it comes to blonde especially, 1,000 things can go wrong, But I love to correct it. And that's why every day I'm fully booked up until almost the end of December with color corrections and blonding services. And we're really honored and very blessed.
That's amazing. And it
Thank
just shows
you.
when you're passionate, when you love something, you can't help but succeed at it.
Absolutely. And I always say, if you don't know your purpose, find your passion, because your passion will lead you to your purpose.
They're very close, those
Yeah.
two. Well done.
Thank
well
you.
done. And
Thank
then I
you.
have one more question here for you. You mentioned that you're very passionate about teaching. How does that show in your business and what you do?
Yeah, so education to me is key. And like I said, in the hair industry, it's always evolving. There's always new techniques and, when it comes to cutting techniques and coloring techniques, so it's constantly evolving. So I love education. I was also part of the Goldwall education team, and I was very proud to present the 2019 collection. And I've now recently actually also taken on a young trainee in my salon, and it's so lovely just to teach and to just carry on with the legacy, and also to teach and just to educate. And education, like I said, is key. And I'm also very proud to say that I am part of the S. Pavo styling team, and we will all be going up to Johannesburg now in November to style the hair for all the Mrs. South Africa finalists.
Oh, wonderful.
And just, that whole vibe and being backstage, and it's all about teaching and learning. And I still learn every day. And I still say my ultimate hair hero is the stylist that I studied with, is Terence Janssen van Vieren from Terenza International Hairdressing. And Terence taught me that in the industry, you never stop learning. You always learn every day.
But you have an incredible energy, and I'm sure it shows when your clients walk into your salon that they have a lot of fun there, no doubt.
We have a lot of fun.
You make education and teaching sound like a lot of fun. Yeah, you might have a
Absolutely.
few tips for our education.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Congratulations again. And are you ready for us now? Did you have enough time?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm Velo Govender. I'm a social worker by profession. So you're probably wondering, business, and where did this come from? So I actually wear two hats. I'm actually the HR and marketing executive for my husband's business, which is a construction spares company, and we're actually celebrating 20 years in business at the moment. And I'm also an individual and family therapist. Now, being an individual and family therapist, that just happened recently, 2 years in progress because of a life-changing experience. You want me to share a little bit about that?
And that official PhD thing as well.
And the official PhD, wow. Well, as I said, I've been a social worker. I've been almost 30 years in the profession. I worked in the NGO sector. So I've worked in the NGO sector for 15 years. I was in the academics at KZN lecturing as well for 8 years. So obviously being in the academic space, you're forced to get into furthering your studies, and that's when I took on the master's. And in 2017, I decided to take on the PhD, yes. And then in 2017, I received a bursary, and I just received my ethical clearance. And then I was struck by lightning. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. God forbid, nobody wants to ever hear a doctor come to you and say, I was actually driving. I was driving and I vomited in my car. And I get to the doctor and go to the hospital, CT scan, doctor says to me, surgeon comes to me, tumor operation immediately. I'm like, doctor, but you have so much to do. I'm so sorry. You know what? I don't think you have a week to live. And that was it. 6 months in hospital. Post-operative complications, facial nerve damage. I lost vision in one eye. I could not speak. Short-term memory loss, and the list goes on. So it was 1.5 years of recovery. And it was traumatic. Believe me, I think your whole life comes to a standstill. I didn't even get to even clear my office desk. At that point, I decided, now what? And I decided I needed to do something with my time. I wasn't going to go back to university. I wasn't going to go back into lecturing. And it's through that I started speaking to my doctors and through my therapist, the physio, and talking to people being diagnosed, going into hospital. And I thought, let me do something about that. And that's when I opened the practice and I started counseling. And I thought, let me use my profession from a personal and professional capacity to see if I could heal people. And in 2020, that's when I opened my practice. And I decided to start the PhD again. Wow. You know, head operation. And you know what my son said to me when I first said, I'm doing a PhD? And he says to me, what is a PhD? And I explained. He says, no, Mom, permanent head damage. And God forbid. And God forbid, you know, it wasn't funny. Yeah, well, you know, when I did get the damage, it wasn't funny there. So nevertheless, I took it on again in 2020, and then COVID struck, and we all know what happened, and the kids were studying from home. So I gave them the space and then put the books away, and I was very involved with working with people because we worked in a crisis mode, offering counseling, not charging, because really people were desperate. You know, we would get calls at 11 at night, somebody's hospital waiting 3 hours, can you assist? So we did what we needed to do. In 2021, I re-registered again, and I was told by KZN, you only have 1 year left, or else you're out the system. I go to my supervisor, who said to me, it's impossible. There's no way we can do this, because whatever you've done in 2017 is outdated. You need to restart from scratch. I looked at it, and I remember saying to my family, and I said to my husband and to the kids, give me 1 year. Just give me this 1 year. And I literally took that year and I turned it around. I sacrificed everything from entertainment, from going out. I converted my entire entertainment area because I have a problem with my eyes. I printed out every thesis. I printed out every article because I had a problem reading from the computer. So I had to print out all my documentation. And on the 21st of July, 2022, I submitted my PhD. Yes.
Well done. Well done. That's amazing.
It was groundbreaking. But on that date was actually 5 years on the day of my surgery.
Wow.
It was amazing. I cannot begin to tell you what that did for me. On the day that I submitted, I actually remember taking my laptop into my prayer room, and I broke down in tears. And I said, God, whatever comes out of this, even if I don't get it, but the fact that I pressed the send button, because there were so many occasions when my supervisor had said to me, if it's not to my standard, you know I will not sign this off, and she will not. I know she would not. But the thing is that, you know, at that point, you know, it wasn't about what I was going to do with the PhD. I wasn't going to go back into research. I didn't want to lecture. Yes, the doctor title sounds nice, and I admit it does. But it was about finishing. It was just about finishing the research. And what was so amazing was 2 months ago, I actually took the research and I did something about it. You know, normally they say when people do research, you take your study and it's done, you may publish articles. I invited 150 social workers to a breakfast. at the Coastlands Hotel here in Durban, where I spoke about the outcome of the study. And we had the National Minister, Lindiwe Zulu, that came to the event. So that was groundbreaking because we spoke about what the results were, and which is something that's never been done before, because normally people do studies and it's put away. But here we spoke about what were the results, what were the recommendations, and what were we going to do about it. And now I'm taking it to Johannesburg next week as well.
Well done, well done.
So really, it has been groundbreaking, I have to admit.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank
That's quite a story.
It is.
And that just shows, we don't grow when things are comfortable. It's where we really discover what we're made of is when we get put into hot water. And so every one of us has those pivotal moments in our journey and in our life that we can look back on. But thank you for sharing yours.
I think just to
with us.
say that, it's easy, being a social worker and having dealt with the most vulnerable communities in my entire life, it's easy for us to feel sorry for ourselves. And I think when I was in the position that I was in, I could have went down and stayed in that position. And that is why I use my practice to say to so many people, whether it's the young people, whether it's the youth, even as old as I am, well, not that old, but know what? That we each of us have challenges, but what you do about it and how you turn it out is what matters. It's not how big you go, what you do, but how much you give back as well. And as I said, I'm still very involved with the communities as well. I still give back a lot. I still do a lot with the community chest, as I mentioned, and we still work a lot with communities out there.
Thank you. Thank you for
so
making
much.
a difference. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your story with us. And we look forward to spending the evening with you. I hope you have your dancing shoes on so we can celebrate a bit later. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please give them a hand. And next up, surprise number 2, the next 3 ladies. Can I ask Wendy Mahoney, Jodal, and Nosihle to come and join me on the stage, please? And you're wearing your beautiful Toyota red as well. Hey? Hey, Wendy, how are you? Good. Been a while that we've seen each other in person. And you're familiar to the front of the room, hey? So next up, we got these 3 lovely ladies, and we're going to do exactly the same. I'd like to, since we're already sitting next to each other chatting, why don't you start off for us and just share with the audience the fabulous version of you that they don't normally get to see.
I don't know if the world is ready for that. And I'm used to being behind a screen most of the time now, so it's novel still being in person. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to see you all. So my name is Wendy Mahoney, and I'm the Managing Director and founder of a change management consultancy called Numela and Associates. And what we do is we help corporate companies transform their cultures for inclusive innovation, which is what excites me no end. And what inclusive innovation is, it's innovation that adds value to the entire ecosystem. So not only does it make businesses a lot more money than classical innovation, but it makes sure that the ecosystem is able to thrive, which obviously is important in this new age, and it's sustainable because everybody in that ecosystem receives value.
I read one of your articles once on LinkedIn, and you mentioned sustainability now. What does it mean to you? What are you passionate about around sustainability?
Sure. Sustainability is a large word, and
Loaded statement.
Where do I start? So besides Numela and Associates, I'm also one of 3 directors of a company called Green Light Sustainability Initiative, which David White is one of the other directors who's here this evening, and Cathy Lewis. And all 3 of us are exceptionally passionate about sustainability, which again is very misunderstood because what we assume it to be is the environment and about obviously social systems, though it also looks at governance. So it looks at, as a business, you still need to have governance systems and structures in place. And in order to be able to care about the environment and care about society, you also need to care about business. So it's good for business, and it's good for the environment, and it's good for society. And what we do is we help companies, we guide companies through that entire process, and we simplify it. And only at quite an advanced stage do we start to go into a little bit more detail, such as the 6 capitals. One of those capitals obviously being the environment, though it's essential in the age that we're in right now is to caretake every single one of the stakeholders within an ecosystem, because we're all part of that ecosystem. So the challenge is that as business, if we don't start to care about, not only obviously have good business structures and governance in place, but also if we don't start to care about what's happening in the environment and care about, our socio-economic development and so forth, we're part of those ecosystems. So we're going to be compromised in turn.
And you seem to love challenges, and you manifested 3 big ones for yourself in your career to success. Please share with the audience what those challenges were and how you overcome them. I'm referring to your burnout.
Yes, no. Just wanted to be clear, right? So, it's probably what I speak about the most. I like to normalize speaking about burnout, because I look put together, and I look like a professional businesswoman, and I've been blessed with a really successful corporate career. But I also, as Anna May mentioned, I had 3 burnouts. And, I was successful at a very young age. I was managing at 24. I was a regional executive at 29. I was on a board at 33, managing a continent at 35. But I also had an epic midlife crisis, which that's a story in itself. And I completely lost my way, and I thought, what is my passion? I think somebody's mentioned earlier, find your passion, figure it out, and it's closely linked to your purpose. I had no clue. I didn't know who I was. My career had defined me. Success had defined me. Take away my career, take away my success, and I didn't know who I was anymore. So I took a sabbatical, but basically, I was lost, and I did a master's in innovation, and I was lecturing innovation, and also studying neuro-linguistic programming. And I was trying to figure out, what do I do with my life, and who am I? And what I realized, and why I'm so passionate about sustainability, and why I'm so passionate about inclusive innovation, is that what I realized is that in order to be able to innovate, and in order to be able to create a sustainable ecosystem, you need to have inclusion within an environment. And you don't have inclusion within an environment unless you have self-inclusion. So, and that was, for me, was just the golden nugget, was learning to accept myself and love myself. And self-inclusion is all about knowing your strengths and weaknesses and accepting yourself irrespective, and knowing your failures. And I failed a lot and I succeeded a lot. Knowing your failures and successes and accepting yourself anyway. And once every single human, and that's always my invitation to anybody that I speak to, once every human is really able to humbly accept themselves, that's when you step into your authentic power, and then that's when you create the space where you're able to accept others, which is a huge accelerant for innovation. It's also an accelerant for consciousness, and when you start to take sustainability seriously, because you realize you're part of that same ecosystem, and therefore you're actually in turn serving yourself.
So you went and took a sabbatical in a maze. But you found yourself. And aren't we glad that you did, because we get to share the stage with you tonight in celebrating that. So thank you for that, and for what you guys do in that field. Creating a win-win is how we all sustainably move forward. And it does take a village, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Share with us your story, please, my dear.
Okay.
Introduce.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nosihle Kabashi over there, Dlamini over here. Choose whichever one. Day job. I work for Toyota as senior manager for new projects and innovation. Side hustle. It's not a side hustle, actually passion, because of mine is that I'm a founding member of a group called the Circle of Hope, which we enable in the South Coast side. We literally help people look for jobs, because we know where we are with regards to South Africa without employment, and sometimes people just need the information. So it's partly that. When you actually do get called into a job, what do you do? Like literally coach them through an interview process. This is how you dress up and all those things. And those who are still university, what are the careers that are out there, because literally we had a row where people were going and doing PR and business management straight from matric. It's all good and well, but who's going to hire you as a PR manager straight out of university, which is something like that, which means people just need guidance into knowing this is what we look at, future of work, this is what's needed. So we got people from different organizations, so we actually try help people through that way. And on the other side, I'm the vice president of the alumni board for TWIMS, because one of my biggest passions, more than actually doing this with people, is manufacturing. I'm hardcore, diehard manufacturing girl because of everything that it stands for. When I'm not wearing white heels, I'm actually in boots and I'm comfortable in boots. So my whole story is about manufacturing and how, like a colleague of mine, Warren, says, how to make manufacturing sexy again in South Africa, because we can all do a whole lot of things, but without a solid manufacturing base, which is what we're passionate about, is actually going back and making sure we bring that up, because we can have the innovation that we're talking about, we're indie, but the base of it all is manufacturing. That's how you innovate. That's how we open ourselves up in the world of innovation. So for me, my whole mission in life is to bring back manufacturing muscle into South Africa, Durban to be specific, and actually propel that forward through education, because I'm fascinated with the human. And I always say that because I actually do believe that we haven't even tapped into what us as humans are actually capable of. We literally go on our way and we do things, but we haven't, like, I think what Wendy was talking about from a self-inclusion is that if we're going around, and I think the stats which you referred the other day is like only 10% or more people actually know who they are. So when we get to a point where people actually know themselves, literally the ripple effect and the compounding effect of us actually coming together and doing what we're all passionate about and what we're good at is actually exponential. So right now, we all good and well celebrating mediocrity, which I think we just need to move out of.
That's amazing. I love how you say it so flippantly. My side hustle. And you're quite passionate about your side hustle. I want to know what value, what deep core value, which means what's important to you as a person, connects those different elements of you in your working career?
For me, I'm a communal person. So that's what does with me. That's what I'm saying. If you look at my portfolio, what I actually get involved in study, people will literally think that it's literally no direction. But I'm one of those people that literally I thrive more, maybe it's my extroverted nature, in connection. So what links everything that I do is the connection. Like I will go back to the human factor, because I feel like when you connect, great things come about. So what links everything of mine is that connection, human to human, that diversity that we need to see and everything else. So, and obviously, getting deep down into knowing everybody and everybody shining. So if I can do that, or me connecting to you can bring out a little spark in you that will let you be your best self, for me, I've done my job. And vice versa, if you connect to me and I learn something about myself, or you show me a blind spot that I don't have, or that I don't see, and you tap into something that I couldn't see by myself, for me, I think that's how we link up as humans.
Exactly. It's like sitting in someone's blind spot. We don't know what we don't know. So if someone can point it out, that's how we grow. Absolutely. So thank you for all that you do in your side hustles and how you affect the world.
Thank you.
Over to you, Jodelle. Please share with us your story.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jodelle. First, I want to say to Grant, thank you for this amazing platform. Unbelievable, where women are appreciated. We generally, I always say, when my husband says the tea is nice, the next day I want to make it even better. So getting that pat on the back just, proves that we needed to be here, and this platform is great for everyone. I come from a company. I'm the co-founder and director of Agento Trading in the rural area of Isithemba, run, managed, and directed by females, 88 of us, taking the market by storm. We are the next competition for China, must I say. So 4 years ago, like any husband, he knows a happy wife is a happy life. I stepped down from my corporate life, and he said, I have a building, take it, do what you have to do with it. I took it knowing that I love people and I wanted to leave a legacy that made a difference. I knocked on the door of the Hester Hannes, who's Mr. John Chandler, who's now my mentor sitting in the room. And I said to him, to his team, I want to sell something to you, whatever you need. And they said, okay, we've got tea and toilet paper. And I said, fine, I'll do it. And for 6 months I did it. And then I walked past the director one day and wearing a very untidy shirt. And I said, can I not give you a new shirt? And he said, no, but you're not my supplier. And I said, but can I try? And he said, well, an RFQ is coming out in 3 months. You can apply like everybody else. And so I did. And 4 years later, we started with 4 people. We were given the chance by Hester Hannes. 4 years later, we now have 88 people. We are now a preferred supplier for Mr. Price Sport. We manufacture our own fabric, which is in stores countrywide. We've just won fastest SME in KZN on the rural side of Isiteba. We've got an IDC development for phase 1. We're going into phase 2 in 6 months' time. 6 to 8 months, we should have employ another 150 ladies from Isiteba. And I know many of you say education is important. Education is important. Culture is also very important. Knowing your people as a leader is very important. Having compassion as ladies, we were said, you take a position of a male. I have had a lot of male support, to be honest, and you're supposed to be strong. I'm very feisty. I have a whole bunch of females that are feisty as me, but we have a lot of compassion. We have that heart of a mother. So every time when it comes to making a ruling, it's made from our heart and with good intentions. And it may not come as strong as it's supposed to be, but it comes from the right place. I was told some time back by a big organization, if you run your business with your heart, it's called CMT. And he asked me, do you know what CMT means? And I said, I think it's cut, make, and trim. That's what I was told. And he said, no, it's called cut my throat. So you're in a man's industry, and as a lady, you're not supposed to be running a factory with your heart. You gotta run it with your mind. And I said, well, how long have you been in this industry? And he said, 60 years, almost 60. I said, well, it's time for you to leave now, to be an oxygen thief, So I've always said it's the same game. I'm just playing the different rules. And that's what makes, I think, Argento so successful. And the fact that, sorry, gentlemen, we have a lot of ladies, from our drivers to our cutters are all female. So female power, we are, definitely. And yeah, we're probably the next force coming forward. And we loving it every day.
Well done. That's so awesome. And we share and celebrate in your growth and your celebrations in your business. What's next for you guys?
A lot. Every day is a challenge. Like I said in the web, I love a challenge. I think the highlight for me, as I'm not a boss, I'm actually a leader. I'm generally all in all stars and jeans on the floor 24/7. So I am a manufacturing lady. So I'm glad I'm sitting next to one. The next part is that the highlight happened about 6 months ago when we opened our own training school. Even though we are an SME under development, we took 18 kids from the rural area, females, out of school, and they're graduating on Wednesday next week at the Amhlali Country Club. So they would be the next Argento for us. Kids that didn't even know what a machine looked like now can actually sew a garment and have been audited by some very high-profile stats and have passed with flying colors. So I think that was a highlight. 18 months, we're going from a 1,000 square meters to probably a 3,000 square meters if we're lucky. We are in negotiations with IDC saying, listen, you want to make a difference. We are a champion of localization, so all our fabric is local. I'm big for making a difference of where we are. So it's not just talk the talk and walk the walk. You do it from the heart and you stand by it. So for me, that's sustainability. Creating what we can do. We have the workforce, we have the skills, we have the mentality. We just didn't have the support which we are getting at the moment. So I think that now makes us a fair challenge which any other country that's coming against us. So yeah, I think we're just playing the same game but different rules.
Watch this space, as they say.
For sure, for sure.
And I'd just like to close off by saying, the benefit of being a woman in business is, and I think all the men in the room can confirm this, is women have the ability to love you and not like you at the same time.
For sure, for sure.
So from having that nurturing leadership style, being firm, being feisty, and being compassionate at the same time, I think brings a really nice spice and mix to leading a whole bunch of ladies.
Well, I guess you have to, if you're sitting in a room where you have to negotiate, for example, like Hester Hannes is now, when we started with them in 2018 or 2019, there were 1,700 people we were addressing. We're now addressing 10,800 people with 11 items manufactured. Negotiation skills are important, so you can't sit in the corner and cry if somebody sells you, in CMT, if people are here from manufacturing background will tell you 50 cents means a lot. On 1,000 garments, 2,000 garments. So you gotta be feisty. You gotta not want to be rude, but have to be rude. So it's gotta come from the heart. The nice part is I like clothing, like every other lady. So fighting for something nice, it's comes natural. But I can tell you, the men have been, the gentlemen have been very kind, including I have a very supportive husband. I have Mr. John Chandler. Thank you. Has been, gave me the first chance and to this day still believes in me. Had Mr. Price Port who opened the doors to us. So I've never really had the challenge where it was because I was female, but we did have to prove ourselves, being especially in a manufacturing and putting clothes in a store countrywide, has its challenges. And it was told you can't sit in this kind of boardroom to negotiate at that level. This is countrywide. It's every sport shop that's in the country. And now what's next also is that we're landing our first container from China. So that's a big thing. We've got our SARS clearance. We're looking at maybe taking our own fabric that was manufactured into export. So that's next for us. And yes, just leaving a legacy that made a difference. That's what it'll be.
That's amazing. Again, watch this space.
For sure.
Thank you very much, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for sharing your stories with everybody. And the third surprise, if I could call on to Dr. Parushni Naidu, Jackie Cameron, and Captain Londi. I didn't get the memo for the gold here. You ladies look gorgeous. Welcome to the front of the room. And there's a mic on your chair. And I'd like, I know that when we did the webinars, you went last, so I'm going to ask you to go first this time, Captain Londi. Will you please share your beautiful story with the audience? They'll put it on for you there.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a long wait. So pleased to meet you in person.
Yeah.
And the rest of you ladies, don't we just look good
Hey,
for our day?
we shine.
Right? Yeah, I'm Captain London Nob. I like to throw Captain on the floor because it takes time for us to claim our power. And for mine, I am a ship navigational officer by profession. I'm a ship captain. I learned how to drive a ship, to navigate a ship before I could drive a car. And I later went from a 50,000 gross tonnage ship to a Mini Cooper. So it was quite interesting. But I happen to be Africa's first female dredge master. And now I live my life to ensure that I'm not the last. So with that, I founded Global Maritime Youth, just trying to ensure that we multiply in my industry. There's only 2% of female participation. And so when I climbed the ranks and later became the youngest corporate executive in shipping, I wanted to ensure that I contribute directly to the incline of female participation. I now am a managing director for War Maritime Experts, which is Women in Maritime, where we consult in shipping, in the shipping industry. I hold various seats now. I sit at a board as an executive board member for Mercy Ships. And so when I speak to my youth, I say, when you cut the red ribbon, don't talk about the Mini Cooper, talk about a South African shipping line. Because unfortunately, we ship a lot, import expert, whoever is in the industry, but we do not own our own ships. We have close to no ship registry, and that's what I stand for. I really want to see that pink ship one day, and I hope that that pink ship will come with KZN top women in business, and we'll be cutting the ribbon together one day, because it is a crisis, believe you me. And I stand by it now, and it's the walk I walk diligently intentionally, making sure that I multiply in this space. There's a lot of kids that are now challenging me because I come in African cuteness, if you haven't noticed. Challenging me to multiply. Sis Londi, we want to be like you. Sis Londi, we want to be like you. And mine is the last time I left the training part of ships, it wasn't that comfortable. And that's not the flag that I want to fly, because I have walked the walk. I want to ensure that the next generation finds it blissful. And even if they don't become captains of ships with maths and science that they don't like that much, they can be DJs on board the ships. They can be makeup artists on board the ships, electricians, mechanical engineers, accountants, microbiologists. My intention is to multiply, and that's the walk I'm walking.
You also have a nickname. Do share.
I'm the Black Mermaid. I love it. I've had to own it. I've had to own it, and I absolutely love it now because it's so compelling. I got a DM on Instagram saying, Sis Londi, thank you for making it visible. Wherever I go, you'll see me in my uniform. LinkedIn, Instagram, on stage, I do a lot of public speaking, and I come in uniform because as much as I'm no longer on the ship, I want to multiply on the ship. So the girl that came to me and said, that DM'd and said, thank you for making it visible. And so I own the Black Mermaid title now.
And what would you say are some core values that those young ladies that look up to you and aspire to the same courage that you had to break the mold? What would be some of those core values that you would say, hold on to those, that's going to stand you in good stead over time?
I think just simply being who they are. With time, realizing that, we throw the male-dominated industry so much, and it's limiting. It was a man that held my hand to hold the wheel for the first time. It was a man that saw me fitting to walk the walk and go to big international stages. I have a vineyard in Reims, Champagne, named after Captain London Ngob. It was a man that continued to say, you're fitting of sitting as an executive for the largest SOC. So coming as you are, and through, opening your heart up for vulnerability. With me, as much as I was the only female, only person of color, short-haired daughter as I am, African cuteness as I come, the more I realized that when you peel the onion, and the more you peel the onion, you see color ceases to matter, gender ceases to matter, and you realize that our hearts actually beat the same.
Exactly.
And so with the young ones, just come as you are. There's a gentleman that is sitting somewhere on board that ship that will see that you're just a girl or you're just a boy that wants a hand held, and they will see you behind that wheel one day.
Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So share with us, Dr. Parushni, your story.
I have to say, I feel so humbled to be among the women that have spoken and that are seated here today. It really takes me aback to be sitting among such amazing and accomplished women. So I'm Dr. Parushni Naidu, affectionately known as Dr. P. I feel a few of you know me from Instagram. But yeah, I'm an aesthetic medical doctor, and I have a skincare clinic in Umhlanga and now in Ballito. And we have an award-winning skincare brand that has been developed by myself, in-house, local brand. I'm extremely passionate about helping people feel comfortable in their own skin. I do come from an industry where people feel that it's quite superficial and that it's all about, vanity, but my goal is to help people feel comfortable with whoever they are in whichever way they want to. I'm also a key opinion leader for Africa for multiple aesthetic brands, both devices and treatment-wise, and I'm passionate about education, not just educating other therapists and doctors to uplift our industry, but also to educate people in our community and in South Africa about having healthy skin habits. And it's why I take my social media platform so seriously. I think that, even if You never walk through my doors if you actually have an opportunity to learn something about living a more healthy life, then I've won in some way. We also have a female-dominated practice. We are a small practice, but we contribute to 11 households. And one of the important things for me in my practice is not just, running the business. It's like, how am I paying it forward? And what we have done, not just through our education and mentorship programs that we have, but we also use a percentage of all the profits that we make to contribute to some way towards uplifting women and young girls. One of our major contributions is we have a pad drive that we collect pads, use our profit, the share in our profits to actually buy pads and supply schools in KZN on a regular monthly basis to get girls to attend school. I mean, just showing up, being at school will change their lives. And if they are spending a portion of their month not being able to attend school because they don't have the real basics, I think we are doing our whole community, our country a disservice. So skincare with a purpose, that's my goal. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And I know that you've had some pushback in your industry with your vulnerability and your authentic honesty on your social media platform. How do you handle those criticism statements as they come?
So I think that because I try to practice responsible medicine, I often am critical about the trends that are going internationally when it comes to aesthetics, and I'm trying to keep it safe and real, and often people feel that's negatively impacting the industry. But knowledge is power, the more you educate people, the better decisions that they can make. So my way of, looking at those challenges is basically trying to find the learning opportunity, and whether it's, educating my followers, my patients, or even my colleagues, there's always a point that you can find. I mean, how is this a teaching point, So that's the way I try to look at it.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure, even your colleagues, as educated as what we all are in our own industry, you can always learn something from someone else because they're looking at it from a different point of view. 100%. And those pools of wisdom are always around. So thank you for sharing and breaking that mold and being brave enough to say what needs to be said sometimes about those trends as and when they come. Keeps us safe and comfortable in our skin. Now, you were biting at the bit when she was talking about all the jobs that they could do on the ships there. You just wanted to throw the chef in there.
Say chef. She didn't mention chef, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Out of all what
she left it for you.
Oh, you're so kind.
So for those of you who don't know, guess what she does?
I'm a chef. Hi, everyone. I really thought I got out of this, sitting back there, sipping on my wine. I was like, I'm completely out of this. Damn it. But
surprise.
Surprise. But yeah, thank you. It's just been amazing to be here, and exactly what you said, like to hear the stories, and I'm so inspired, and by all of the ladies' stories. And so I am Jackie Cameron. I'm a chef. I've been in the industry for 23 years. And I was a chef in a restaurant, Hartford House, and it just got to a point for me that I had won every restaurant award. And it's very weird to speak about me, but anyway, I guess this is what this is about tonight. But I had won every single award. My team and I had won every single award that there was to win on the restaurant side. And we had been on every TV production, top billing, what are all of them? I've gone Hayden Quinn. Remember Hayden Quinn, MasterChef Australia? We were on TV with him. We had done it all, and it was, for me, it was sending out beautiful plates of food, which you said you had experienced. Yeah, beautiful plates of food was all fantastic and all very. It was wonderful for the guests to experience, but for me it became more about what was getting me up in the mornings. And what was getting me up in the mornings was seeing my staff that, at that stage, it gives away my age, had a standard 6, standard 7, standard 8 education. There's no grades here. And that's the education that they had. And they would come into my kitchen and they would make beautiful salads, and then they would first wash dishes, then make salads, and then go on to beautiful hand-tempered chocolates. And they would travel overseas with me and go and celebrate New South Africa for the first 10 years. And go and every single time I went overseas, I took one of my staff members with me. And for me, that's what started getting me out of bed. That's what got me out of bed, was seeing their growth and their development. And it also, my dad's here with me this evening, and he often, he says I pushed him out of his home, which I really did. But it was getting to a point of, we started getting older, and what were we going to do with this home that my folks had worked so hard to keep and to maintain. And when I was at Hartford, we started working on, so I now have Jackie Cameron School of Food and Wine, which is the first locally, nationally and internationally accredited school, chefing school in the country. Just as bizarre for me that no one else thought to be internationally accredited. But anyway, we got there first, so that's cool. And so it was, I think it was about, I'd say just... I'd say 10 years, because I was in the restaurant scene for about 12 years, but at year about 2, I knew that I wanted to open my school. And in one section of the school, I just have to say, but my dad put a structure, which that was going to be our restaurant, beautiful glass structure of our restaurant at my school. And he started telling everyone, because he was in construction, that's where his TLBs were going to be parked. And everyone around Hilton was like, no, John, no, please. Please don't do that to that home. But yeah, so it eventually, it's been my school, and it has been a beautiful process. I cannot believe that next year it's year number 10. It's crazy, and that I was at Hartford for nearly 12 years. But this has gone like super fast. This is as we all know in business. And from year 1, I have got, not to speak for too long, but I'm very proud. One of my first batch of students, Carla Schultz, she's working with Luke Dale Roberts in Cape Town, and we both cooking for the next 2 weeks. We're cooking for the Eat Out Awards, which is like the food Oscars in Cape Town. And for the last 6, 7, 8 years, I think it is, I'm losing, my students and I have always done the canapes at this awards for 800 people. It is the food Oscars, it's like Michelin standard. And my first student from my first batch of students is going to be cooking, don't tell anyone, but the main course. So, it's no longer about me or my team winning the awards, even though we're here tonight, but it's about my students going out into the world, and for them to win the world, to win the world, I say, to win the awards and to really put their name on the map. And what's really special is that we guarantee, which I don't think there's many other institutions in the country and the world, 100% job placement. I offer an 18-month course and a 3-year course, and all 100%. If you finish the course with me, you get a job.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. You thought you were off the hook, eh?
I really thought I was off the hook.
Did you not see me wink at you when we were in the back there?
Yeah, I know. I thought you were just like trying to no,
I wasn't trying to pick you up.
No. I thought you were just like, you're not speaking
Weird.
tonight. You can have that other glass of wine.
But I'd like to just affirm something that some of the ladies have mentioned already, and that it does take a village for us to get to our level of success. And I love that you pointed at it as well, our Black Mermaid, that it's the men, it's the family, it's the people at home, it's you in the room with your wife and your partner. So we want to acknowledge you as well, because it really does take that support structure that allows us as women to shine and take it to the next level. You know, have it been Dad's home that you had to use and, give him the small corner in the back.
We call it the nest. That's where they live.
So we also acknowledge you for your support. So thank you very much, ladies, for joining me here on the stage tonight and sharing your story with everybody. I'm sure you found it absolutely amazing to listen to these ladies. You know, you walk past people and you see their face and you don't really know what's happening in the depth of a person until you get to have just a 5-minute conversation. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, to all the ladies in the room, congratulations. Enjoy the recognition. You deserve it. You worked for it. Even though you didn't aim for it, perhaps. You absolutely deserve to celebrate it. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Wow. Did you guys enjoy that? Wasn't that just awesome? So we are going to get to dinner in a mo. So if I can ask us to still be seated with our program proceeding. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Anime. That was wonderfully facilitated and really beautiful to hear all the stories and the challenges and the wins and the ups and the downs that really make this day so special. So yeah, thank you so much, ladies, for sharing and for allowing yourselves to be on the spot. All right, so right now we're going to get to our keynote speaker for the evening. I believe there's a podium, so I'm thinking whilst the podium is being set up, I will introduce our guest speaker for the evening. I'm looking around the room. There it is. Okay, as it's getting put here, let me just introduce our speaker. Our speaker has been in practice for 25 years this year, an absolute milestone. Opened an office in Sandton. Yes, yesterday, 1 November, opened a practice in offices in Sandton. A member of the International Bar Association, which is the largest association of lawyers globally. Also won Businesswoman of the Year, KZN 2012. Nominated as Top 100 Businesswoman in KZN in 2029. A champion for the rights of women and children, and a member of multiple organizations across South Africa. Litigated nationally and internationally in India, Australia, Canada, England, and America. Mother to a beautiful daughter called Jade, which she says is by far her greatest and most rewarding achievement. Please welcome to the podium our keynote speaker for today, Shamla Partha from Shamla Partha Attorneys.
At least I know what my obituary will sound like. I know you all wanted to correct Carol when she said nominated top 100 in 2029, but there's no need to correct her. Yes, it was 2019, but she's looking forward to me being there in 2029. Talking about nicknames, I too have a nickname. I'm called the Rottweiler with flair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to our gorgeous and energetic program director. I listen to you all the time. To our honored guests, and of course, the extraordinary businesswoman whom we are all here to honor and pay tribute to. It is a privilege for me to have been asked to speak at this most prestigious event, which celebrates not just these phenomenal women and their accomplishments, but also showcases phenomenal human beings. I am going to toss my speech every now and again because I think from the 9 phenomenal women that we're seated here, they've kind of each taken a snippet of what I'd written. So I don't know if they got privy to my speech maybe on Instagram, but yeah. So one of our women, and I think she was our African mermaid, spoke about celebrating men in as much as we celebrate women. And I'd like to take this opportunity to give Grant a round of applause. Because here we have a man who knows that in order for him to be successful, he's got to put 100 women in front of him. And he does it exceptionally and exceedingly well. So thank you, Grant. When you showcased me in 2019 and I was nominated, it catapulted what I thought was just being a lawyer. You know, my life was very steeped in doing the right thing, encouraging, empowering, knowing that you came from nothing, so you've got to be something better and you've got to make everybody around you better. But Grant gave my firm an opportunity to be something a little bit more different. What makes a woman extraordinary? Is it having exceptional educational qualifications, earning a fantastic salary, an impressive title, or outstripping our male counterparts? For me, just being a woman is in itself extraordinary. We possess the power to ignite energy, compassion, love, style, and still be able to function in full work gear. We get home, we make dinner, we sort our children, we listen to complaints that the day has brought other people, and we deal with parents, staff, and we still have to smile. When your child tells you at 10 o'clock in the night that there's no knickknacks, you find the knickknacks. For me, I don't know if I can draw a distinction between being a woman who is ordinary as opposed to extraordinary. I'm a lawyer of 25 years standing, being blessed with a practice and clients that are both local and abroad. I have notched up achievements, but I owe every success, big or small, to my mum, my late mum, who actually passed away when I was just 21. So I am actually living for longer than I knew my mother, being 29 years that she's now late, leaving me to be the head of a household where even though I was the youngest of the siblings, I was the only daughter. So I had to learn on my feet how to cook. I remember cocking my head on a cordless telephone until I couldn't put my head straight because my aunt would tell me what to put in the curry. And she would use Indian language to describe certain spices, like pate in Tamil is cinnamon sticks. And she'll say, you must put 2 pate in the curry. And I'll say, what is pate? And she'll say, it's the black thing that's like a stick. It looks like bark. And okay, so that's kind of how I grew myself and groomed myself. I realized that business and having an educational qualification, being a successful lawyer, earning a lot of money was not enough if you did not have your life steeped in family, because family is everything. It teaches you everything. It grounds you. It's who you become later, and it is the legacy that you leave. So for me, my mum, or my late mum, I can't categorize her as being ordinary because she lacked sophistication, education, and did not have a career. She taught me humility, kindness, compassion, nurturing, and most of all, a passion to dream and dream big. Be the best that you can be, she said. Don't be afraid to take chances. Go and play soccer with your brothers. Be the athlete that you want to be. Wear shorts if you need to. It doesn't matter what your granny says. Be the best damn sister that you can ever be. When you're a mother, be the best mother that you can be. Be the best worker because you only get one shot, and take it, but make sure that that's the best shot you take. And I'm not talking about those shots. She also taught me the importance of family and tradition. And again, I digress from my speech because I was telling my daughter yesterday, I'm not sure why I'm not feeling this energy that I usually feel when I write something that's so close to me and that gives me so much joy. And she said, Mum, maybe because it's difficult to talk about yourself. And I said, but this is not about talking about me. It's talking about other people, and it's sharing my experience so that maybe people out there can know that everybody has a story. Everybody can tell their story, and everybody needs to learn and share. So I thought I did really well with my child when And by the way, she would have loved to be here today, but she's writing her final honors exams at UCT tomorrow. And she says to me, Mum, I wish I was writing a story for you, because you say this is about extraordinary women, and in my books, you are the most extraordinary woman there is. And that really, really, really inspired me to sit up and say, I can do this. Women find it easy to complain when we don't get opportunities that men have, or if we don't earn as much as men, or we're not able to enjoy their lifestyle, like playing golf and dealing with things on a different level. But we're not the same, and it's okay not to be the same. I don't look at being, some people may say being a woman is a handicap. It's a compliment to be a woman. Do you want to have it all, or do you want to be better than a man? Why should we be in competition when we are so good at what we do on our own? If you just listen to these 9 women, and there's many, many, many of you whose stories we haven't heard, but we're certainly going to meet you today. You each have a phenomenal trail-blazing career, and you have empowered so many people in your paths, whether it is empowering one person, whether it's empowering 88 or 100. You do that every day. You show up, and you have to be the best version that you are. Yes, nails, makeup, everything. You got to do it. I don't like to classify success by gender. For me, to be truly successful, one has to know their strengths and their weaknesses. To overcome your weaknesses, you have to surround yourself by those who know more than you, and you can't be afraid of it. In my very much younger days, when it was easy to be intimidated, those days I used to be a Yorkie. I was intimidated to employ somebody who knew more than me because I thought they'd show me up. And it was difficult. But I quickly learned that employing smarter people was key to success. Today, I only employ people who are smarter than me, which allows me to constantly grow and learn. When I employ somebody at my office and they are at the interview, I say to them, you are allowed to make a mistake every day. And they look at me. I said, well, you can't make the same mistake every day, but you're allowed to make one mistake every day. Because at the end of a month that has 31 days, you've learned 31 things. Of course, if you make that same mistake 5 times, you're out the door, but that's on you. I have touched on men playing a significant role in the upliftment of women in this country. Whilst there are still a few who are obtuse to change, my experience has shown that finding our seat at the head of a table, we are being respected and admired for this. We must not only applaud and acknowledge this transformation, but we must pay it forward. And for this, I've got to mention someone by name, Pravina Coombs. She doesn't like the story, but I've got to tell it. And for all of you who don't know Pravina Coombs, she is responsible for making this function look as amazing as it does. She's an owner of an events company and quite a trailblazer in her career. But many, many, many years ago, I kicked Pravina to the curb in a matter. She was this hotshot executive, and I was the startup lawyer. She went to the biggest firm in Durban and the oldest firm, so you can Google it and you'll find out who it was. And I was a brand that you didn't really know. And I outsmarted her very expensive lawyer and beat her. And 2 years later, I get nominated for Businesswoman of the Year, KZN, in the professional category. And my first instinct was, oh my God, I can't accept the nomination because if I lose, I don't know how I deal with it. And then I humbled myself and I said, The nomination is phenomenal, and I've got to find out who nominated me. I didn't, and I attended the awards function, which was then held at Coastlands, and my husband, my daughter, and I are making our way into the lift. And of course, we're going to go to our table because, like all good Indian people, if someone in your family gets nominated for this award, you take 2 tables. So I had 20 people there. Yeah, I did. Probably I paid for the function by that. But it was worth it because I won. And that category. But I'm in the lift and I'm saying to my husband how nervous I am. And there's this woman, you know, looking so poised and so beautiful in this elegant and stunning ball gown. And I'm wearing a very, very ordinary dress because my thinking was that they're going to call 4 finalists to the top. And I knew I was finalist. But if I'm wearing a ball gown, and it was a ball gown evening, people are going to remember the one that didn't win. Because I was up against giants. I mean, CEOs of major insurance companies, etc., in that category. And I said, if I wear a very simple dress, I'll just fade into the background and nobody would know. So you can imagine how I wanted to die when I won, because can't I go home and change, you know? Now nobody remembers the girl who had the simple dress and won. So, but that was the sophisticated woman in the beautiful high heels and that silhouette body was Pravina Coombs. And I'm saying to my husband in the lift, I wish I could find out who nominated me because it'll be really nice to say thank you. And it was only at the end of the function that she came to me and introduced herself to me. So a woman who could have thought the worst of me in a matter that we were litigating against, but she looked at me and she said, you are somebody I admire. You are somebody I should put forward. And she put my name forward. That award too changed my life. So thank you, Pravina, for all that you do for us women and for always putting us first. And as you know, as women, we grow our careers, balance lives with husbands, partners, fantastic mums. We have to find time for ourselves and our friendships. We sometimes have to be social workers and agony aunties, chef, fun parent, and still have time to do hair, nails, and makeup. It's exhausting for sure, but there's not one woman in here that can't tell me it is not exhilarating. The cliche that powerful women empower other powerful women, for me, is just a cliche. Because I subscribed to the fact that powerful women empower people. It doesn't matter what the gender is. I have a helper who's the daughter of my helper who helped me raise my daughter. And Constance worked with me for 18 years. She retired, and clearly I told her when she retired that she was earning too much money. But last year she came to visit me over Christmas, and she said, won't you give my daughter a job? And I said, of course I'll give your daughter a job. So her daughter now assists me at home. And she's been seeing that I've been working really hard for the last 2 weeks without taking a break and sleeping at very odd hours. And on Monday, I came home particularly flatlined. And I hadn't had anything to eat in the day. And at 7 o'clock in the evening, she brings me sugar beans curry. And she doesn't like to cook, and she told me that right at the very beginning when I tried to teach her, because I love teaching people, and my side hustle is cooking. I love cooking. And so I was very surprised, and she said, ma'am, you work so hard, and I've watched you cook. So I decided that today I'm going to make sure you eat a meal. So I'll cook sugar beans for you. And it was the best damn sugar beans curry I've ever eaten. But extra masala, but I think that was for me to remember it. So I want to tell you another story that's very close to my heart is, what would you think if I told you that there's a 70-year-old woman who is now in a home where she's being assisted to live every day, that she would be in my home and steal my very expensive lipstick and put it into her bag. And she would take the odds and ends and put it into her bag. She would steal toilet paper and toothpaste and put it into her bag. And at the end of every evening, I would go look into the bag and I'd have to fish out all of these things. What sort of a woman would you think that she is? You think something's wrong with her, she's a kleptomaniac, she needs to be institutionalized. But that's my aunt who taught me how to cook and who took me by the hand and made me stand tall and take over from my mum. She passed a baton to me and she said, "You run with this." So she was an ordinary woman too, and she is suffering dementia today. But I am who I am because that woman helped me. She didn't leave me behind. And I then want to draw an analogy to what happened to me today. So I said to you, everybody has a story, and we all get put together. But I had a dentist appointment today, which involved a dentist and a surgeon. So if you hear me lisp, it's not because I'm trying to sound sexy. It just comes naturally. So I had this appointment with a surgeon and a dentist, and they'd done major procedure for me 6 months ago, and I put off the follow-up appointment, not because I was scared, but because I couldn't find the time. Every client, every matter came before that, until they both told me if something seriously wrong happens to you, we really don't want to be liable. So this appointment was set a month ago, and if I didn't take it today and I cancel because of the function, they would not have seen me until February next year, and it would have been too late. So I go there at 10:30 in the morning, and it becomes quite a traumatic experience for me. 9 injections later, and I can still feel the pain. And I burst into tears and sobbed so hard that the dentist just held me in his arms and said, "I'm so sorry, I can feel your pain, but just a little bit more." And I left. He ended up leaving their chair at about 4:15 in the afternoon. And my sister-in-law was driving me back, and the tears just wouldn't stop rolling. I was mentioning to my brother that, you know, when you have a little child and the child starts crying, and then after 5 minutes the child stops crying and then remembers why they were crying and starts crying again. That was me. I felt so sorry for myself. Everything was terrible. And my sister-in-law is saying to me, "Do you want to do your hair?" She's very afraid of me, by the way, so she was asking nicely, "Do you want to do your hair?" And I said, "I have to do my hair, and I can't speak so loud now." And then she says, "You know, you could do it here in this area," because the dentist was in Musgrave. And I said, "No." And she said, "Yes, because Nick does your hair, and Nick makes you feel better. And if you go to Nick, you're going to feel a bit better." I said, "Yes." So just work with me. I was telling you the story about my aunt and the amazing woman that she is, and how she made me feel amazing and like I could do anything. But again, a simple woman. She probably had standard 4-level education. So I walk into the salon in Umdloti, and Nick takes one look at me and he says, "Are you okay, Sham? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm okay. And, you know, this is what happened." And he said, "Oh, I'm very, very sorry. Take a seat. We're going to sort you out." So I'm really late now because it's 4:45, and I was told by Pravina Nochal, "You better be here at 6. So I said to the lady, "No massage, no nothing, just quick wash." She said, "Sure." So I come into the chair, and there's a woman who is seated next to me, and she's having her hair done by Nick as well. And she looked like quite a strong woman, LV handbag, you know, so I know this is power. And it's power. So, and beautiful green eyes too. I wish I knew her name because I'd mention it. But anyways, Nick looks at me and says, do you want a milkshake? And of course, I'm feeling more sorry for myself now because my hairdresser's feeling so sorry for me. I'm going to go again. And then I said, no, thanks, I don't want a milkshake. And I said it just like that. And he said, oh, Sham, I really feel for you. Is there anything I can do for you? And I said, yes, Nick. Do you think you could ask your client if you could quickly do my hair and then I could run off to my function? Because he knew it was a function. And she started mumbling something, and I didn't know what. I thought she said, oh, yes, you've been through a tough time. Of course he can do your hair, because she's had long hair now. It's going to take long. But she starts shouting at me. She says, how dare you? You're such a rude woman. I can't believe you are asking him to lead my hair, to do your hair. I didn't know she's talking to me, or to, because there's me, tears and all. I mean, look at this face. Somebody said they got a cute African face. I mean, look at this face. Yeah, and I didn't even put on the lawyer card yet. I looked weathered. And then I looked at her and she goes on. And she said, I don't care that you had a tough day. Okay? You'll wait your turn. And when I'm done with my hair, then you can get your hair done. So fortunately, the pain was still really bad. So I was kind of neutered, if you want to call that. The Rottweiler was neutered. I get up, I take a walk, and I go to the receptionist who's saying, trouble's coming here. And I go back, and I said to her, are you finished? And she said, no, but I said, are you finished? And she carries on. And then I said, now are you finished? And she said, yes. I said, firstly, I'm really, really sorry. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have taken the liberty. But I didn't tell him that he must do my hair and stop yours. I asked him to ask you. And I said, you damn lucky you've got me today. Because if you got me on any other day, I would tell you exactly what a selfish woman that you are, and how I am going to this function, and I'm going to tell every woman that's out there, don't ever be that selfish woman, because there was nothing in it for her to say, of course you can go first. And that's who we must never be. Never pull rank. Because today you are somebody. Tomorrow you could be nobody. I always tell my clients, not even clients, people I mentor, workshops I go for, talks I give to execs and their staff, is be careful who you tramp on the way to the top. Because guess what? That's who you'll be looking at on your way down. And on a personal note, just remember that it doesn't matter where you come from, what your story's been, whether you are handed something on a silver platter. You work, and you work really, really hard, because there is nothing that can compromise hard work. Every achievement only comes because of hard work and dedication. My mission in life is not to merely survive or exist, but it is to thrive and to teach and to grow and to be a powerhouse, not for the fame, the glory, and the money it brings, but for the joy and the purpose it will yield. And I will also want to do all of this with passion, with compassion, a lot of humor, and of course, style. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Shamnapatha. Wow. She's very lucky she got you today. I would love to be in that salon when it's not today, another day. When you see her when you see the same lady and you are fully okay. I love the story. Absolutely love the story. All right, as we're going to take, I'm going to ask you all to look at the screens because our wonderful sponsor, Mangwanani, is going to flight their beautiful video. I know you guys are going to scream, woohoo! I knew it. And as that's happening, I'm going to ask the guys to remove the podium for me because we're going to do some prize givings. So everybody, Mangwanani. I love the enthusiasm. I'm sure you guys have seen that video at least 100 times. And every time you see it, it's like the first time. Ne? No, I love the enthusiasm, guys. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, we've got 6 gifts to give away. And we have all your names in a little thingy-majig-jig over there. And I'm going to not do this by my own, otherwise you guys will say it's rigged. So we don't need that story. I'm going to call Daisy up as well as Yoshi to come up. Yoshi and Daisy, give them a round of applause. And we're going to give away some nice prizes, all as part of a lucky draw. Please come up, ladies. I believe our glass bowl is to my left, so let me grab that so long. And hopefully not fall off the stage. We don't need that legacy. All right, so can I give this to one of you, and then I will dip my hand in the bowl and grab. Okay, let me come over to the side. Okay, so here are the nice things, no? So here we go. Good luck, guys. A very good luck to you. I'm going to go right to the bottom because you started from the bottom, now you here. You know that song, right? Started from the bottom, now we're here. Guys, please. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh, wow, she was just on the stage. Jackie Cameron. La Chef. La Chef. Chef, you have to tell me now that you're coming, what is your favorite thing to make? I'm so curious. What is the one thing you love to absolutely make? You love it all. There's not one thing you're like, this one is, I love doing this. When you ask me to do it, I don't like doing it. Well, congratulations. This is for you.
Thank you very much.
Gonna turn around and take a picture with us, yes? Stomach in, chest out. Whew. Thank you. All right, let me put this over here. The one thing the minister said that was very important. Stomach in, chest out. Okay, next one. Kim Dyson. Kim Dyson. Woo! So Kim, we haven't met you, so I'm going to give you a mic just to tell us quickly what you do so we at least get to meet you in person. Is this working? Hello? Hello? Sanbona. There we go. Come on, Kim. Kim Dyson, please join us. Quick. Oh, just to say, just so we know, what does Kim Dyson do? Here we go.
Where should I stand?
Go ahead.
Sure, I'm so nervous. Thanks very much. Thanks, Carol.
You're welcome.
So I am a manufacturing jeweler. I'm a goldsmith. Perhaps I could discuss my necklace that I've made specifically for tonight, or my team's made. This is the inspirations come from nature, which is obviously where I get all my inspiration from. and is a indigenous orchid that's found here in KZN. So yeah, that's what I do. That's where my passion is jewelry.
Jewelry, telling stories to jewelry. Thank you so much, Kim. Let's grab your gift here. Let's take a picture, Mr. Photo Man. Come through.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Congrats, congrats. All right, let me put this down so that I can. Let's go for another one. And Liesl Phillips. Where are you, Liesl? Start thinking about what you're going to tell us. We want to know what you do as well. I mean, why not? If we meet you up on the stage, we might as well find out a little bit about you. Liesl Phillips. Let's get the hot mic and hand it over to you. There we go. Yes, girl. Here we go. So if you can tell us, who is Liesl Phillips? What does Liesl do?
Oh, wow. Guys, I never win anything. So I'm Liesl Phillips. I work for a company called LabourNet, and we resolve our clients' labor issues. So, yeah, if you have labor issues, give me a call.
There we go. Thank you, Liesl. Let's take a picture. There we go. Congratulations. There you go. Thank you. Congrats. All right, that is number 3. We got 3 more to go, babes. Could it be you? Oh, you're so quiet, guys. Maybe we just stop. I think we just stop. Let's just go. Come, get excited. It could be you. I don't know what's in this box, but it looks heavy. All right, our next one, Parishni Naidu. Come up, Doc. Dr. P. Amazing. So we got how many? 2 more to go? It's fantastic. We're almost at the end of our program, guys. I can hear some bellies. Don't worry. We're gonna eat just now. We're gonna eat just now. Congratulations, Dr. P. Let's take a picture. This is for you. Yes. Amazing. Thank you, Dr. P. All right, that is 4. Let's go for number 5. Number 5. During the days when we used to have the lotto draws like on TV, and then the balls are rolling there, and then you're like, is it me? Have I won? Back to work tomorrow. All right. Shaz Balim. As you come, Shaz, think about it. We want to know what Shaz does. Let's get to know Shaz in a beautiful dress. Yes, sparkle, honey. Shine bright like a diamond. Okay. Hey, Shaz, here's the mic for you. Tell us what you do.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
It's Shazadi.
Oh,
You threw me right back to high school when
Really?
you said Shazadi.
I'm so sorry. Shaz, did I say Shazadi?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry, Shaz.
I'm in the wholesale retail import industry. It's a 35-year-old company. We supply tableware to chain stores, and I'm in the fuel industry. I own an engine service station in Esteers, and we source products from all over the world for any requirements.
Wow, where's your engine so I can get free gas? Gas is expensive, guys. It's the most unpredictable thing.
It's a shocker down the road.
There we go. See you at Ushaka Engine. Thank you so much, Shaz. Thank you. Let's take a picture quick. Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy that. Congratulations. All right, it's the last one, I believe. I wish I had more, my friends. All right, maybe we go for one on the top. Stop digging at the bottom. Yeah, let's grab this one. Premi Subramani. Prems. Start thinking. We want to know what you do. We want to know a little bit about you. Let's hear it. Here we go. We'd love to hear what you do, Prems.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Premi Subramani, as you heard. I'm the sexy manufacturing lady.
Oh, lovely.
I'm from South African Adhesives. We make glue, as you can hear the name glue, we bond together.
Oh, I love it. We bond together. Well done. Here we go. Let's do the pictures. Thank you so, so much. Let's do that. Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daisy and Oshni. Appreciate it. All right, geez, I can't believe we're already at like almost the end of the program. Miss Gail, please join me on stage. Gail Adlam, she's going to give us a wonderful vote of thanks from the KZN Top Businesswoman. Please do come on the podium, on the stage rather, and let me hand you this beautiful mic.
Thank you. Thanks, Carol.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a really amazing evening, and my job is really to say thank you all. We've really enjoyed spending the last few weeks with you, from taking photographs and videos at Mangwanani to spending time on the webinars, and there's certainly a lot more thank yous. Thank you first to DRG, to David and his team. We really appreciate all of your support. It's been wonderful. To Anime, thank you for your support and your help with the webinars and with this evening. And as well to Carol for your wonderful emceeing tonight. Both, as you know, Anime and Carol are part of our Top Businesswoman for 2023. So we really appreciate them taking the time to help us facilitate the process and to guide us through the evening. Thank you. And then obviously from the Top Business side, we have Grant and the whole KZN Top Business team, Angela, Kerry, Tracy. Then I would be amiss if I didn't say thank you so much to Brendan for the wonderful portraits. All of you ladies spent a lot of time in front of the camera, and we're delighted with the end results, as well as to Dan for the videos. We will be releasing the videos over the next few weeks. We decided that we could prolong the whole process. So we had the lead up, then the event, and you still get to continue celebrating. With tomorrow night, we'll stream this for your family and friends to watch. And then over the next few weeks, the videos will also be released. So it really has been a pleasure to be part of the process. And I know I've really valued the time that I've spent with you and really have enjoyed hearing all of your stories. Each story offers something different. And what I really heard, and I heard from you in the process, is that it gave you an opportunity to be seen and to be heard. Because so often we don't believe that we do deserve to be recognized, and we don't believe that our stories have merit. But I really believe that all of your stories have the power to inspire other people, and that is part of our vision, that your stories will uplift others and strive, and let them strive for success as well. And you all offer a lot of wisdom and insights. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Before I go, because there's always somebody, our technical team, and as Shamla said, Pravina for helping us put together this whole evening. So thank you and enjoy the evening. And to Shamla, here's just a small token. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you. Let me grab the mic from you. Thank you so much, Gail, for that vote of thanks. And wow, here we are, literally at the end of our program. It's exciting to celebrate something that's got to do with women outside of the month of August, is it not? It's November and we're celebrating women. Isn't that fantastic? So yeah, I'm really thank you, Grant, for this opportunity to not only be on the platform as your MC for tonight, but also for the opportunity to recognize the work that I've been doing in my industry. I think for me, the most humbling thing about what I do is interacting with people. And a lot of the time, a person will walk up to me and say, I absolutely love your show. And in the beginning, it would get really awkward because I get on the radio, I don't see who I'm speaking to, right? I speak into a microphone and I have fun speaking to myself, right? Not picturing every single face, every single voice that's out there listening to what I have to say. So when I would encounter the people I would say things to, it would always be quite like a little bit of a shock to the nervous system, if I can put it that way. And as I got over that, I started to ask the question, why? So why do you love my show? And the one thing that keeps coming up is I just love how you are yourself. And it inspires me to be myself. You are just yourself. You say what's on your heart. You say what's on your mind. You laugh. You say random things sometimes that make absolutely no sense. But it allows me to see how just being yourself is so important to your core. And so every day I wake up, I go and do this radio show. That's one thing that definitely drives me every day, is that just by being myself, I get to inspire people. Just by being inquisitive and wanting to know more, I inspire people. By bringing wonderful, interesting conversations and encountering wonderful, interesting people like yourselves and putting them on my platform and exposing them to other people, it just changes the trajectory of somebody else's life. We're living in a life now where the buzzword is mental health. And so many of us now have a word for the challenges that we may face when we're going through dark times, when we can't explain the toughness to the next person, but rather just sit in this dark space. Now there's the language. And I'm glad that I can be on a platform to have the conversations that ignite you understanding what that means and where you go for the help for that. And so many other conversations that I may have because I'm inquisitive about, but are changing people's lives. So thank you so much, Grant, for giving me the opportunity to be able to stand here and not only tell my story, but celebrate in a room full of amazing women doing a lot of things. I just want to test something quickly. Mangwanani. Yeah! It works. It works. It's the buzzword. It's the buzzword. That's how you get the crowd excited to say that. That's how you do it. So I just want to leave you in wonderful words of the editor of Huffington Post. Ariana Huffington said, "We need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that we'll screw up royally sometimes. Understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success." Which is the words I absolutely want to leave you with. Please do join me on the radio again tomorrow between 9 and 12.